enough is enough. Xbox, we got to talk. I have been a fan of your brand for years. I remember playing Halo back in the day on the Xbox, playing Fable back in the day on Xbox. There's so much love I have for this platform. So much love I have for the console. But this is a real conversation between me and my community and Xbox. And more particularly, Microsoft. Look, I get it. There is a lot of incidences where because corporations and Microsoft has changed the direction of their company multiple times, stuff that Phil Spencer said years ago wouldn't make sense for the direction they're currently going. But guess what? That's not our fault. That's not the consumer's fault. The reaction you're getting on Twitter is people that are taking you at face value. And the moment you try to come out there and pretty much tell us not to take you at face value, you've lost the fight at that point. There's so many issues with the Xbox brand. It is unreal. Let's talk about just the console. Just the console. You pretty much equivalently have told everybody not to buy a console. You told them that you could play anywhere you want. Anywhere. You don't need the console. You have went out there and made games day and date with PC, which if you remember, during the Xbox One generation, there was a lot of people that have PCs now that's on the community. They used to have Xboxes in the Xbox One generation. Because you've made so many games, and all of your games for that matter, day and date with the Xbox ecosystem and the PC ecosystem, I couldn't tell you one of those people that have a console. And the issue is, if that is truly your goal and you don't really care about the console sales because you're pushing so much revenue and so much marketing towards Game Pass, then that's fine. But you have people, executives in Microsoft, executives in Xbox particularly, that come out there and speak, we are looking at maybe how happen to do better when it comes to hardware. But the problem is at every corner, you're telling people they don't need that hardware. You had a ad on Starfield that told you you didn't even need a console or a PC to play this. You just needed an Xbox Cloud. That's all you needed was the cloud. You could play this on streaming services. You could play this on TVs. You don't even need the console. Now, I understand they are going more into, streaming in general. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the issue of the matter is you shouldn't have to attack, or not necessarily attack, but hurt one side of your business, which is the hardware, to promote another side of the business, which is your streaming services. I don't agree with that. You could have easily have just said on those same marketing ploys, all you need to do, it's on TV. That's all you had to say. All you had to do is say available on your Samsung near you. But when you use the words, you don't even need a console, and you're trying to reach casual audience, because that's the reason you do these, marketing that tries to appeal to as many people as possible. What did you think was going to happen? You were down 33% in hardware this last quarter. What do you think is going to happen next quarter? Hell, what do you think is going to happen the next generation of consoles? And you want me to invest more into your platform, knowing that as far as hardware, as far as the Xbox, this thing here, there's a chance you don't support the next one that far. Now, obviously, they're still making next-gen hardware. I don't think there's no debating that. But my fear is, what happens if that fails? What happens if it doesn't work the way they want to? And instead of selling 10, 15 million the first year, they sell 3 or 4. How much longer do you think Microsoft is willing to front the bill to make the difference that the console itself isn't bringing in revenue before they just pull the plug entirely? I don't know, because you see here now when it comes to stuff that makes logical sense, it doesn't make logical sense in the long run. Now let's go to Game Pass. Keep in mind, you guys can put in the comment section below anytime you disagree with any of my statements. I know you guys call me the mustard heart, doom and gloom. We doom and glooming, mustard hearting this shit all day, because I got to get this out. Game Pass is a phenomenal, extremely valuable service. But to me, you guys put everything in the Game Pass and nothing in anything else. You know, we could talk about the hardware. You know, I personally feel like what sells hardware is good marketing, timed exclusives, and exclusives. Well, you already got rid of the exclusives. You can get that on PC. Sure, it's in Game Pass day and date, and that's always good. You know what's in Game Pass day and date. Indies probably got the most from Game Pass because they were able to essentially pay for the development of their game, or a huge portion of it up front, and I'm sure they love that. And initially, that's why I was the most looking forward to that, was the potential of more indie games having the opportunity to make games because they can get Game Pass bags to be able to sustain themselves and make more games in the future. We've been hearing from multiple people that fund has been cut off dramatically. Now, obviously, they still bring games to Game Pass monthly, but as far as how they used to really market that, and remember back in the day when they did these kind of, you know, events, what was the number one thing they always said? Every game here is in Game Pass. Every game. Now they kind of went away from that. They don't necessarily do that as much as they used to. And that's cool. They won't even come out openly and tell you some games are in Game Pass when they announced it. I don't know if that's the publishers saying that they want to wait till the last minute to get as much pre-orders as possible. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But there's clearly something going on there as well. Now let's talk about marketing. Timed exclusivity. And maybe you guys could say I'm tripping in the comment section below, and I would respect every one of you. But when you market something, you market to obviously show your brand connected to it. You market it to obviously help the person itself too. You want to put that name beside everything you do. And then, you know, there's other kinds of marketing where you do like timed exclusivity. I believe that Microsoft and Xbox, and maybe I'm wrong, put in the comment section below if you have more context to this, because I don't. I think they pulled away a little bit when it comes to timed exclusivity in certain marketing, because what do you need for marketing? They're going to want it in Game Pass. So not only are they paying marketing, they're paying another bag to be put in Game Pass. And this bag might be bigger than this bag. I don't know. So you're paying them that. You know, I want to market your game and I want it in Game Pass. Probably going to be double the price. I don't know how much it was originally. I'm just throwing out numbers there. Now let's look at timed exclusivities. Microsoft used to practice this. They used to. You know, games that were canceled, such as that Dragon game, man. You guys know what game I'm talking about. The dude with the Devil May Cry Dante look, man. Scalebound. Got games like that was going to be a timed exclusive or exclusivity in general. They don't want to necessarily go with that because they're going to have to negotiate for the marketing, negotiate for the timed exclusivity, negotiate for the full-blown exclusivity. And then that was already a lot of money. And then they have to come in the back corner and be like, yo, we also want to put this in Game Pass. Raising it right then and there. Raising it right then and there to do all of that. So that's why I feel like you haven't seen them necessarily do a lot of timed exclusive stuff anymore. Now, as far as the indies, I do think they probably go after those a little bit more because those are cheaper. We've seen a lot of indie games only come out to Xbox. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily a Xbox saying we're going to help you pay for the port to come to Xbox, or we're giving you money to do it, or maybe the indie developer in general didn't have enough staff to effectively work on multiple ports. All of those could be a possibility. The reason I bring this up is because I generally want what's best for the brand. When ABK was mentioned, I've always felt like one of the biggest things that they could really gravitate towards was having a huge casual game. Even though I couldn't care less about Call of Duty. Actually, it's less than that about Call of Duty. I understood Call of Duty was such a big brand, it works and it's effective. But then we don't even know what they're doing with Call of Duty. Hell, we don't even know what they're doing with their own name. It's been rumored there for past couple of days. I remember I made a video about it a while ago that they might be changing their name to Microsoft Gaming. They're getting rid of the Xbox brand entirely. You know, you got people on like Tim Dog on Twitter saying that Microsoft and Xbox, particular Xbox, they equivalently went bankrupt, and that Microsoft currently is not supporting them anymore. I don't know if that's his exact words. I'm paraphrasing, but you guys get the point. I personally believe that the brand Xbox will be fine. I believe that they'll turn themselves into a third-party thing. I'm just skeptical if the console will be there long-term. You know, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe after next gen, you don't even need a console anyway. Everything's going to be on an app. Maybe they're taking the right approach. If they do timed exclusives and bring those games over to PlayStation and the Switch, and the games are good, because they got to be good, maybe that's enough to keep people to continuously buy into the Xbox ecosystem in terms of the console, because they don't want to wait for those games on the other platforms. And I can understand that. I've always said that timed exclusives matter, just got to get the right one. There's a lot of factors that go into this scenario. And I don't mind saying I'm ignorant to the outcome. I don't know what's going to work. There's never been a platform or a console holder to have this many studios. You know, they don't own the majority of the industry, because they don't. There's a lot of the industry they have nothing to do with, Japanese related. And Bracer Group probably owns more than they do, and they keep selling stuff. But I'm not going to come out here and tell you that I know which way to go. I'm not going to come up here and tell someone that disputes me that they feel like what Xbox is doing is correct and they need to go on it, because I don't know if they're right or I'm right. Because like I said, the variables have never been done in the industry. No one in this industry knows that this is the correct way of doing things or not. Maybe what they're doing now is going to lead to a domino effect to lead to more stuff in terms of Game Pass subscribers going up. You get better games such as Hellblade Avowed, and then the subscriber counts go up. You get Call of Duty and Game Pass, subscriber amounts go up. They're able to leverage that with the Call of Duty marketing rights to get more people onto the Xbox platform, and maybe we'll have a different conversation in a couple years. But those are a lot of variables I just don't have access to. I don't know. So, my question to you guys is, what do you truly think the goal of Xbox is? Because I don't know if they even know. They shut down all these studios after they told us years, that the reason Game Pass is so lit is because they could take more risks. Well, I don't think no one would have complained if Redfall got Arcane Austin shut down. It would have been disappointing, and I believe they should have gave them more of a chance, but I do think people would have been a little bit more understanding with that particular situation because of the state Redfall is when it came out. My issue is the industry in general in terms of right now with this. You're laying people off that did a good job. You're laying people off that did a bad job. People will say, well, those games didn't sell well. The developer's job is to make the games. It's Microsoft's job to market them. And look what Hellblade 2 is going on right now. I don't know the circumstances behind the marketing of Xbox. I felt like they did an okay job with Starfield. But the fact is that this is the first week that they are clearly pushing for an ad marketing campaign for Hellblade 2, knowing that game comes out on like the 21st or 23rd. I don't know. Spooky. I know. But yeah, put the comments section below what you guys feel. This is kind of a rant. I don't think I'm doing no editing. I got to do a podcast here in a couple minutes. I'm passionate about this brand. You guys can call me a mustard heart, doom and gloom. I don't care. I'm never going to not be real with my audience about my personal opinions. And my opinions is not relevant in the grand scheme of things. I don't know what the future holds for Xbox. It could be good, it could be bad. I'm not even disagreeing with everything Xbox is doing. I don't agree with some of the things they're doing. I agree with other things. But once again, I'm just the outsider looking in. But if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. I appreciate all the support I get. I'm going to be popping out more content. Obviously, we got the June showcase coming up here soon. I appreciate everyone for coming through. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.